Well, hey everybody, it's me, Amanda, with Once in a Wild. Welcome to our program and welcome to a brand new showtime. 6:30 p.m. Central Time is when we are going to have our regularly scheduled weekly Wednesday show from here on until we decide to change it again. So thank you so much for joining us today for this new showtime. We'd love to see if there are more followers able to join in and watch this later showtime than our previous showtime at 3:30 p.m. That's a little bit early for everybody to watch because you're at work. Let's face it, you have a life. Outside of me, I mean, of course you have a life, right? What else could you be doing besides watching Once in a While 24/7? If you do want to check out some more of our videos, by the way, you can check them out on YouTube. And if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, Once in a While, please go to YouTube immediately and hit subscribe, ring the notification bell so you don't miss anything, and like and comment on the videos that you enjoy. And if you're seeing me for the very first time, I promise I'm not really that arrogant. I'm just joking around. Welcome to Once in a While. We are an animal outreach company here in South Texas, and San Antonio, Texas is where we're located physically, but we can actually broadcast all over the country and all over the world now virtually through our live stream programs and through our Zoom room animal encounters as well. If you've never heard of a Zoom room animal encounter, let me go ahead and play you guys a commercial here in a little bit, but we're going to talk about us just really briefly, really quick, and go ahead and get started, shall we? So I do want to mention that our programs here on Facebook and YouTube are free of charge, of course. You're joining in already without paying anything. But if you would like to donate to our zoo, because we do have about 70 animals to feed here at Once in a While and take care of, there are a few donation options for you, which are as follows. A few of them are listed down below in this beautiful graphic down here. One is going to be through Venmo at Once in a While, through Cash App, $ Once in a While, and we also do have PayPal as well, which is at Once in a While. Very, very easy to remember, right? We also do have our Amazon wish list, which is located on our website, which is onceinawild.com, which is also down below as well. You can easily follow all that information down below as well. And if you need any of our information, if you've forgotten it, it's all found at onceinawild.com. Here on Facebook, Instagram, we're also on YouTube, like I said before. So usually everything's down in the description box below as well. So very, very easy. If you ever have any questions, do not hesitate to text or call me. My number is down below as well. And let's go ahead and get started by showing you guys what our Zoom room animal encounters look like. Let's go ahead and learn about that, shall we? And yes, there it is. Bam. 1, 2, 3. Bam.
Stuck in the house with nothing to do? Did your students miss their fun field trip that was planned for them? Are you looking for a fun team building activity for your employees that are stuck in the house with the same old Zoom meetings from day in and day out? Was your child's birthday party canceled this year because you're stuck in quarantine? Well, then we got the solution for you. Our Zoom room animal encounters are a great solution for you. In Zoom room virtual animal encounters, we can bring the zoo to you, but from the safety of your own home. They are fully customizable, and you can invite all your friends to join in and meet all the animals. They are fun, unique, and very interactive. It's also a great learning opportunity. And most of all, it's very, very simple. Just contact us to book your appointment and schedule your Zoom room. Then select the animals you would like to attend in your Zoom room animal encounter, and then send the link to all of your friends and family who are invited to the Zoom room that we provide to your email. And best of all, we can bring the animals to anyone, anywhere, all over the world. So visit us at onceinawild.com or call us today. We can't wait to see you.
Hooray! Did you enjoy that commercial? Let me remove it really fast so you can see me a little bit better. That explains a little bit about our Zoom room animal encounters, and you can find out more about that at onceinawild.com, or you can call or text me, which my number is down below. You can also email us as well. If you go to our website, onceinawild.com, and request an email or call back, we'll get right back to you as soon as we can, but calling or texting me is the most direct way to get a kind of a handle on all of that information. And if you would like a Zoom room animal encounter, so those are really, really fun. Another thing I do want to mention before I forget is we now have merchandise at onceinawild.com as well. And let me show you a couple of examples of some of our merch that we just came out with. Hang on one moment. I'm going to share this screen with you guys. We have some stickers. That's not it. That's not it. There we go. You'd think I would know all of this by now, but sometimes it takes a few seconds to remember. Here we go. So isn't this cute? Let's make it a little smaller. So these are some of our sticker examples. I did want to show you guys just a few examples of some of our merchandise. Like I said, this is brand new to us. If you go to onceinaWhile.com/shop, I believe, it should also be right there, obvious, on our Facebook, Instagram, and onceinaWhile.com on where you can find these stickers. There's a cute axolotl alebrije sticker. All three of our sticker designs so far are inspired by alebrijes. If you're unfamiliar with what that means, it is a Mexican art form, and a lot of times animals are the subject matter of those alebrijes. And if you've ever seen the movie Coco by Pixar, there are a few of them in that movie as well. Here's a hedgehog too. Isn't that adorable? And here's a chameleon. So far we have 3 sticker options. You can actually purchase them for $5 a piece. And you can get all 3 if you want to, or just one. However many you would like to order from onceinaWhile.com. So I thought I'd share that with you guys as well. Do you like them? Which one's your favorite one? I think my favorite one is the axolotl because I love axolotl so much, but I can't really decide because I do love hedgehogs and I also do love chameleons, of course, but I think my favorite of the designs are the axolotl because of the design of it. It is so precious. You can put your stickers on your reusable water bottles. We encourage you guys to use reusable water bottles and reusable straws and reusable utensils. It is plastic-free July, just for a few days longer, but we do encourage you guys to prolong your plastic-free habits as well throughout your entirety of life. That does help animals out quite a big deal, quite a bit. It helps them out quite a bit. A lot is what I'm trying to say. And by using less plastic, recycling plastic whenever possible. We do recommend using reusable straws, like I said, reusable water bottles. But these stickers are fun to place on your binders and books, your whatever you want. You can put a sticker on your arm if you want to. It is up to you because it'll be your sticker. So go and purchase those at onceinaWhile.com. But I like to put them on my reusable water bottles. That's always fun. Now, I do recommend if you put stickers on your reusable water bottles, etc., please don't wash them in the dishwasher. You want to hand wash them. That way your stickers and decals and things actually last a lot longer. So again, we have the axolotl alebrije, the hedgehog alebrije, and the chameleon alebrije. So very beautiful. So we'll get rid of that and let's go ahead and start our regular program. Let's see who's chiming in. And it's so good to see each and every one of our friends, family, and followers chiming in. Please feel free to interact with me. That is my favorite part about doing these virtual encounters because I do miss all of the people. I can't really be in person as often nowadays, right? Because of the situation that we're going through in the world. So we're being very careful. I'm usually here at Once in a While at home and doing virtual encounters instead of in-person encounters these days. So that's pretty much what we're doing nowadays. Again, we're doing them through the Zoom rooms and through our live streams, which is a lot of fun. But I do miss the one-on-one interaction and the one-on crowd interaction. I miss my people in person and getting to be able to show you the animals in person. But feel free to chime in and give me a little taste of that as we are interacting right now. That's my favorite part about doing these live streams is because I get to actually talk to you guys and you're really watching and you're really interacting. So let's see who's chiming in so far. Hello, Samantha. So good to see you as always. I did want to show something really, really cool that Samantha made for us not too long ago. Well, I think she made it a while ago, but she only recently gave it to us because, again, we were in quarantine for a long, long time. So I want to give a shout out to her. She makes these incredible diamond paintings, which is hard to show you with all these lights and everything. Isn't that gorgeous? It looks so much prettier in real life as well. It does not do it justice here on screen. I kind of did a little test earlier to see how it would look, but look at all the reflections. You can see how many lights I have in this room. I tell you guys every single time how many lights are on in here to get a good picture. And the laptop, of course, is right there. Hello, I'm in Inception over here, but you guys can see what a beautiful job she did, and she gave us our logo. Isn't that amazing? It looks exactly like it. Oh, the further back I go, the more beautiful it looks. So thank you so very much, Samantha. It's a beautiful gift and very, very thoughtful, and I'm sure very tedious to make this. And I know it's very tedious because you told me how you made them. These are made with teeny tiny little special beads, and they're called diamond paintings, and they're just gorgeous. And Samantha does some really awesome work with these really cool diamond paintings. The first time I've ever seen one in person, to be honest with you. So I was really surprised that she did our logo, and I'm very, very grateful. So I wanted to show that off for you guys, and what a wonderful gift and what wonderful support she offers to us as well. So thank you so much, Samantha. That is very much appreciated. I'm going to set that aside safely so it doesn't get harmed. So who else is chiming in? Looks like Viviana is here. Hello, Amanda. Glad to finally catch you while I have finally moved down to West Texas. I hope your move went well. And yes, we're changing our time to 6:30 p.m. for now, at least. We might think about doing a little bit more programming as well, since we're still stuck at home and whatnot. So let me know what you guys think about maybe some suggestions for Instagram, suggestions for YouTube, etc. We're always open to suggestions here as well, which I have listed down in the description. We're always open to suggestions. Let me know what animals you guys want to see and learn about as well. Lisa says, this is a great time for a live. I'm so glad that you think so. I decided to go ahead and change it kind of this week, just on the fly. Like, I think we should change our time because not very many people are available at 3:30 p.m., are they? But a lot of people rewatch our shows. If you happen to need to go or do anything else with your life, I understand. We do always post our videos on YouTube the next day they get posted. At least the next day, maybe a little bit sooner than that, but that's what I've noticed that YouTube does. It kind of takes a little bit of a delay. But Facebook, they're there right away. So you can watch them right afterwards again if you want to. And some of our previous shows are on there as well. Of course, all of our live streams are on Facebook and YouTube. Show our YouTube some love by subscribing and watching those videos and liking, sharing, commenting, ringing the bell, and all the things. That really, really helps us a lot. That's a free way you can help us out, right? Okay. My mom says, hi, Samantha. That's my mom, Donna Winter, down below. My name is Amanda Winter. So she's Donna Winter. And Donna is tagging all of her friends, of course. And Samantha's showing some love to my mom. Hi, Donna. It was good to see you on Sunday. Yep, it was really nice to have Samantha over on Sunday. I haven't seen her in a long time. And that's when she gave us the gift. And, oh, you said you love the stickers. We love how they turned out as well. We're going to be making some more merch very, very soon for you guys. So I'm glad you like them so far. And Samantha's already ordered some stickers. She was our first one to actually order anything from us. So it's pretty cool. And Viviana says, we love all three. So that's very, very good. I like all three as well, but I think the axolotl is my favorite. Samantha says the axolotl and the chameleon are my favorite, but I got them all. Wonderful. I think they all look good together, don't they? I can't wait till we get t-shirts and all kinds of things coming soon. So stay tuned. And Samantha says, I'm glad you like it. Love you. We love you as well. Love you too. Oh, hello, Bonnie. Hello. It says hi from the Gibsons. Bonnie is a dear friend of ours, and they usually watch together with their grandchildren, I believe, or grandchild at least, and family. So that's a lot of fun. And you have emojied a lizard, a tortoise, and a snake, and a heart. That is beautiful. Hello, Richard. Nice to see you back. I love your new profile picture. It looks like you're about to eat a raw fish like Gollum from Lord of the Rings. Give it to us raw and wriggling, right? That's very funny. I love that photo. And Donna says, love seeing you to Samantha. Hi to the Gibsons. Yes, so we are going to turn some of those designs into t-shirts and things like that. That is the plan anyway. And all kinds of designs are coming soon. So please stay tuned. Yes, 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 yes. And Ricky says, more to come. I'm sure that was Ricky chiming in with in Once in a Wild. More to come. That definitely wasn't me. So it had to have been Ricky. Alrighty, guys. You guys are so wonderful. Thank you so much for joining in. As we said already, I'm going to get rid of a few things on my laptop screen here so I'm a little more organized. I like to be organized when I do these shows for you guys. So you guys ready to meet an animal that we've never seen before on our live stream? If you caught him on Instagram, I did a really quick, just a preview and a heads up on Instagram to let everybody know that we've changed show times. So, you would like a rabbit design, Viviana? I think that would be a very cute idea. Maybe we'll do at least a rabbit something. I don't know if it'll be an alebrije, but something. And hi, Ricky. Okay, guys, let's go ahead and introduce, and I'll get back to your comments and questions again. Don't you worry. Let's go ahead and introduce our new animal. He is actually a new animal to us here at Once in a Wild, but not a new species. But you may have heard a little bit of bad news. Unfortunately, our other bearded dragon, ZZ, who we love so very, very much, ended up passing away recently, and he had a sickness. I did announce that he was sick, and we thought that maybe he would hang on for a while longer, but he decided not to. Pretty recently, not too super recently, I've had some time to kind of grieve and whatnot. I'll never be over him because he's one of my favorite lizards to ever have and to work with. And we miss him very much. But we actually received a, not really a call, but a message from one of my friends saying, hey, do you have room for a bearded dragon? And we said, well, yes, we do have room for a bearded dragon. In fact, that would be fine. And so she told us that a bearded dragon actually showed up on her neighbor's porch. So would you like to meet him? His name is Eddie. We decided to name him Eddie. And here he is. So he is actually a street bearded dragon. We don't know why he was on the street, and we don't know where he came from. We imagine it was somebody's pet that either escaped or they set free, unfortunately, which happens sometimes. It isn't very responsible, is it? Not a good thing to do. But here is Eddie. He's a little bit longer and probably older than ZZ. And he's a little bit more wild type as well. This is kind of what they look like in the wild. ZZ was a little bit more hypomelanistic or yellow light colored. This guy, Eddie, is very, very wild type. This is kind of how they look in the wild, although he's a little lighter, I would probably say. I haven't seen too many wild bearded dragons, and I know they look different depending on where they're located in Australia. But we were so very happy to be able to give Eddie a home. And what we made sure and did as well is, since ZZ actually passed away from what is called the adenovirus, which is a specific disease that bearded dragons can get, which is very, very contagious, unfortunately. If you didn't see our live stream all about that, we did a live stream addressing that matter. We did get Eddie tested as well, and he is adenovirus negative, which is very, very exciting. We definitely don't want to go through that again with our bearded dragon, so we made sure to get him tested and to find out that he's healthy, and he's very healthy, as far as we know, and no other health issues have arisen. And actually, he's very, very active. He's a little more active than ZZ was, although ZZ was pretty active too. They just all have their own personalities, don't they? But this type of lizard is a bearded dragon, of course. They are a Centralian bearded dragon. That is usually what you see in the care of humans, as far as in the pet trade, or that's just kept as in the care of humans in general, even at zoos. It's usually a central or Centralian bearded dragon. And bearded dragons are found throughout the continent of Australia. Let's look at his beautiful face. Bearded dragons are an omnivorous lizard, meaning that they eat almost anything they can get a hold of. So they might eat bugs that they catch. That is certainly their favorite food that I've noticed in the care of humans. They seem to really favor things like dubia roaches, crickets, and superworms, and even mealworms as well. But those dubia roaches are probably the best food item to feed them. But you always want to give them kind of a variety, though. So we do that here as well. And that seems to be their favorite, what they get the most excited about. But bearded dragons also do eat vegetation. And he will actually eat a salad as well. So he's going to get things like collard greens, mustard greens, all kinds of dark, nutritious greens. And he's also going to get a little bit of sweet potato and other veggies like yellow squash, etc. So he's going to get a good variety of food with us here at Once in a Wild. When we give him a salad, we usually tempt him to eat a little bit better by putting some dried mealworms or even live mealworms on top, kind of like croutons. And I always tell my bearded dragons, please don't just eat the croutons, eat the rest of the salad as well. But in nature, they're going to eat vegetation as well as bugs. They might even catch a small rodent from time to time. And they might even catch a small bird from time to time, depending on what they can catch. But they're not too super fast to be able to catch those items. So typically insects and whatnot are what they're going to be able to go after. Now, I know that doesn't really make any sense, but they're just not as, not like a monitor lizard or something like that. They're not going to eat meat items quite as often as a monitor lizard, because monitor lizards are carnivores, not omnivores. These guys do eat a lot of insects. That's going to be the main part of their diet. And like I said, as well as vegetation and other things. On occasion. Bonnie says, welcome, Eddie. Thank you so very much. We named him Eddie after my favorite singer, Eddie Vedder from Pearl Jam. I'm a huge fan of Pearl Jam. And as you know, ZZ was named after ZZ Top. So we thought we would kind of give him a musical name as well. And we wanted to give him a bearded name. So Eddie Vedder these days wears a beard. And the bearded dragon has a beard too, right? You can see his beautiful beard. He's putting his chin up like this so you can see his beard. These guys have scales and not hair. He's at a strange angle right now. He has scales and not hair, but some of the scales on his chinny chin there kind of look like hair, and they look like a beard. He sure is pointing his chin up so you guys can see that. Let's point him down a little bit better. He is so cute. He's trying to like kind of like suck up like a tree branch. So in nature, they're actually going to kind of do this where they suck in their bodies like that. Trust me, he can puff out his body too. So sometimes they'll kind of just want to blend in to the background. He might be just trying to kind of like stay hidden right now. Maybe he's a little unsure of his surroundings because he's new to the studio and new to me and everything else. He's been doing fine. But he's kind of like doing his tree branch pose right now. And when he wants to, he'll puff out his body to look really big. That's what the body is going to do here. It's going to puff out really big. Right now he's sucking it in and looking like a tree branch, which is what they do most of the time when they're resting and just trying to blend into things. These guys are semi-arboreal. So they're going to be on the ground as well as on kind of lower branches. And they can climb trees on occasion if it's an easy climbing tree, not too tall of a tree. He's kind of looking like a frilled dragon right now. A frilled dragon is going to be his close cousin in Australia as well. And a frilled dragon has a great big giant neck frill that when they open their mouth, like that, the frills are going to stick out just like the Dilophosaurus did in Jurassic Park. Although the Dilophosaurus in real life probably didn't have those frills on the neck. That was just kind of an artistic interpretation that Steven Spielberg decided to use on that dinosaur to make it a lot more impressive in the movie. I don't remember if it's in the book or not. It might be in the book as well. I read it a long time ago and only once, and I don't remember. But let me know, all of you Michael Crichton fans, if the Dilophosaurus actually had the neck frills too. I know it spit venom in the book and in the movie. But that is originated from the frilled neck lizard or frilled dragon, which is a close cousin to the bearded dragon. But you can see why he has that name, the bearded dragon. Those scales on the chin, which are kind of pronounced, they look like a beard. And when he wants to, he can actually stick his beard out and puff it out, just like he can puff his body from time to time. Like I told you, he can when he wants to. He can puff out his beard to look bigger. He can also change his color. So sometimes he'll change his color based on his mood, and sometimes he'll change his color to communicate as well. So mood and communication, as well as temperature change. So usually lizards are going to change their coloration based on temperature and mood or communication. He's looking at you guys now with curiosity. These bearded dragons are extremely intelligent lizards. He knows when he's about to get fed, even though I've only had him for a couple weeks now, if that, week and a half, 2 weeks. He knows when he's going to get fed. He knows who I am. They learn very quickly. And they're always kind of looking around and learning about their surroundings and very, very alert. Pretty cool. So this is Eddie, for those of you guys just joining us. Eddie is new to us. And like I said, he's our newest rescue bearded dragon. We're really excited to adopt him. He needed a home. Whenever you guys are looking for an animal to come into your life, we do recommend adoption. There are many, many animals already needing homes out there. Sometimes it just takes a little bit of research and time. You can contact rescue organizations. I know it's a little bit harder nowadays to, go into physical contact at shelters or go into physical contact with, all kinds of rescue organizations. But it's always a good idea to check out and see if there's any animals that need homes already, because your next friend could be just waiting for its home rather than, buying one from a pet store or buying one from a breeder. Not that there's anything inherently wrong with either of those things. I don't recommend a pet store usually, but some pet stores are really, really nice, and they actually are supplied by responsible breeders. So those are good pet stores that I recommend visiting first before you go to the big name pet stores, etc. Before you ever go to the big name pet stores, I recommend looking for a rescue. And sometimes the big name pet stores do hold rescue events as well. I know here in San Antonio, we have a reptile organization that holds adoption events at, I think, Petco and PetSmart, but I could be wrong. Could just be one of those. But that is Alamo City Reptile Rescue here in San Antonio. They have all kinds of reptiles that need homes. That's a good source as well. But there's all kinds of places in every city across the United States and all over the world, I hope and assume, that there are sources for you guys to also adopt animals that need homes. And luckily, we were able to take him pretty much right away after we got his testing returned negative and we knew he was going to be healthy and all that. We were able to bring him right in, and he's fit in just fine. Like I said, he's a little bit longer and probably older than Zizi was. You can see how much bigger he was if you were familiar with Zizi. Zizi was a little chunkier, but don't worry, this guy I'm sure will be a little chunky before long, right? It kind of just depends on their mood. Sometimes they puff up their bodies, sometimes they don't. Could just be the way that he looks. We don't know much about his history except for my friend that received him, right? And she took good care of him. But before that, we don't really know anything about him. So who knows what kind of care he got. But don't you worry, he's in good hands now, isn't he? Isn't he cute? Bearded dragons are one of the cutest lizards and very popular in when it comes to being a pet. They make very good handling lizards. They're very, very relaxed, usually for handling. Not always, but usually. And they just have special needs. So when you meet their specialized needs, then you're going to have a friend for the rest of their life. And by the way, these guys live on average from 10 to 12 usually is typical for them to live. Sometimes record breakers are out there and they can live into their 14, 15s. But typical is going to be around 12 is their life expectancy in the care of humans if they are in good care. But you have to give them special ultraviolet lighting. You have to clean a bath for them, of course, just like any pet. And you have to feed them usually every day. These guys should have some kind of food item around every day, or at least every other day, to be able to stay healthy and happy, whether it be bugs or salad, right? I think he thinks he sees a bug down below, but there's no bugs down there. It's just my keyboard. He's being awfully wiggly. Let's see what you guys have to say. Once he settles down, I'll be able to respond to some of your comments down below. I hope you guys like him. He is super cute. I'm also being very patient with him because it is his first time to be in the studio today. I kind of like his little underbite. Just so you guys know, the underbite is not necessarily normal for the species. But again, we don't know about his care. He may not have gotten enough ultraviolet light, which they need to be able to grow properly. And he may not have had the right diet or calcium supplements. So all those things they're all important for the bearded dragon and any lizard. And so it's important to do all of your research or talk to an expert like myself, and we can help you set up your enclosure properly. We can help you feed the animal properly, set up your lighting, all the things. So we're happy to help here at Once in a Wild if you ever need our help. Eddie, yes, indeed. After Eddie Vedder, beautiful. Eddie Vedder has a nice, beautiful, handsome beard nowadays, so. And yes, I think I answered this question already for Samantha. Do they make good pets? I think they do. You just have to meet their needs. They're a lot more hardy than some lizards, like chameleons. I definitely don't recommend chameleons for beginner reptile enthusiasts. I definitely don't recommend iguanas for beginners as well. This is a good, if you would, beginner type reptile, but I would say they're probably a little bit more advanced than like a leopard gecko or even a blue-tongued skink. Blue-tongued skinks and leopard geckos are a little bit easier to care for and set up. And they're a lot less, what's the word I'm trying to think of? It's easier to make mistakes with a bearded dragon than it is with a leopard gecko or a blue-tongued skink, if that makes any sense. Let me see. Aurelgi is here. Hello, Andres. Nice to see you. We love you. I was just watching our collaboration video again today because I love it so much. If you guys haven't checked out on YouTube, we have a collaboration video with Andres Aurelgi is his, I'm pronouncing that all wrong, aren't I? He's down there commenting down below on YouTube. He is a fantastic YouTuber. He's mostly in Espanol on his channel, but if you check out our video on our channel and on his channel, we did a collaboration that is absolutely hilarious, and I think you guys would actually love that. So please check that out and like it and subscribe to both of our YouTube channels as well. There he is right there. That's his channel name and his name. We love him. Everybody's tagging their friends and family. We love it. Here's a good question, and I'm happy to answer. Hello. Do they enjoy the company of other lizards? I do not recommend cohabiting most reptiles, including bearded dragons. So these guys prefer to live alone. They live alone in the wild, except for when they're coming together for breeding purposes, of course. These guys are prolific breeders in the wild, and they will breed throughout the year, except for during the colder months in Australia. They'll breed most of the year otherwise, and they actually do have kind of a harem situation. They will kind of gather a collection of females into their territory, chase out other males, and they will mate with all those females and have more chances of reproducing throughout the year, except for during the cooler months, which I forget in Australia when that is, because it's not on our schedule of cooler months. And when it comes to the United States, somebody could look that up for me. That would be fantastic. But there are a few cooler months in Australia where they do not breed and they aren't as active. But these guys are pretty prolific breeders. However, I do not recommend housing them together. There's too many accidents that can happen. In fact, we suspect, because Eddie actually has some toes missing, and I'll show you as soon as he stops wiggling around. He is quite the wiggly monster today. Goodness gracious. Trying to show you guys something. He has a few of his kind of digits missing on his toes. Oh, here's one in the back. And again, he's a rescue, so we don't know anything about this. If you can see, one of his toenails there is missing. I don't know how well you can see that. But he does have kind of the last section of his toe missing. That is likely due to another baby bearded dragon or juvenile bearded dragon biting it off of him when they were both younger. Or maybe when he was a baby, he was kept with older bearded dragons, which is even worse. So these guys can get very, very food motivated and actually go after each other by biting each other's tail tips off or toes off and toenails off. So it's really kind of not recommended for bearded dragons to live together. Of course, if you're a breeder, that's a different scenario and you have to put them together for breeding. But for the general population and general reptile enthusiast, pet owner, etc., we recommend housing them separately. That also gives them a better opportunity to find food. You can monitor who's eating and who isn't. There are very few reptiles that get along well when kept in like a group situation. Green and knolls do pretty well together. Garter snakes do pretty well together. And there's a couple of others, but there's really pretty small numbers of species that can actually cohabitate without issues. Does that make sense? So you could, but you're probably going to have some injuries to each other, and they're really not going to like that. Bearded dragons are very, very territorial, as I mentioned before, especially males and males. Males living together are definitely going to battle and fight for their territories. In fact, he might be seeing himself in the screen down here and going after that bearded dragon down below. You see yourself? Sometimes he sees himself in the reflection of his enclosure, and he'll actually put out his black beard for the other bearded dragons to see. Settle down there, Eddie. I wonder if he's hungry as well. We'll feed him right after this. Don't you worry. So that's my recommendation for bearded dragons, is not to cohabitate them at all. And when you see them in pet stores as babies all together, that's asking for an accident. They really should have a separate enclosure, or at least a partition for each bearded dragon, even as babies, because babies especially are little hungry monsters, and they can actually eat each other's toes, tails, things like that. It happens a lot. I hope that answers your question. He is so very cute. I agree. He is so very cute. Let me see. So no, I would say they don't really enjoy each other's company. That's more of a human thing. Like, we think that they would like a friend, but it's really not necessary and not recommended, actually. Yes, I was just saying this. Check out the Once in a While collaboration with Aragi. It's hilarious. You will love it. It's on YouTube, on our YouTube channel. Hello, Amanda. Nice to see you. Looks like you're tagging a friend. That's very, very helpful. Thank you very much. And another friend as well. And of course, Donna is tagging her friends too. Yes, I'm glad you saw the video. Everybody that hasn't seen it, or just watch it again and share it with your friends. Where did you put your toes, Eddie? Well, I imagine it wasn't him. I imagine it was someone else that put his toes somewhere. Goodness gracious. So I think Eddie is telling me that he's ready to get down. And since he's new, I'm actually going to give him a break. We might see him again later if we have time. But I'll go ahead and let him rest down below since he's new and getting used to things. I'll let you guys say goodbye to him. And whatnot. If you guys want to meet him in a Zoom room, let me know. And if you guys want more information on bearded dragons, please let me know. We'd love to do another video of him, and I'm sure he'll be in many, many videos in the future. So we'll love to see you again, Eddie. But for now, we'll let you rest and hang out, although I think he's ready to run. But we'll let him hang out down below, and I'll go ahead and answer all of y'all's comments and questions so I can actually have my hands free. How's that sound? He's winking at you guys. He is so cute. Okay, Eddie, hang out down below. And we'll feed you your dinner later. How about that? I think he did fantastic for his first time on the show. It is his job. It's his job to be himself right here on the show. I'm going to check my camera's timer really fast, so pardon me while I take a very, very, very short break. I'll be right back, guys. You guys are wonderful and patient. Thank you for waiting. Let's see what you guys have to say about Eddie. And let me know if you have any other questions about him throughout the program. As always, I don't mind going back to the animals all over the place and answering your questions. Okay, if they're out of order. Okay. I'm just laughing at our previous comments. It says, yes, head to my channel and check it out. Absolutely. It's my favorite. Yes, here's a very good question from Viviana as well. Do they come, this is the bearded dragon question, I'm sure. Do they come in different colors depending on the region they are in? Yes. So they're typically sandy gold to brown to almost black. I've seen a few that are very melanistic or dark black almost in coloration, or dark brown at least, right? Yeah, it depends on their locality. So locality is a fancy way of saying where they're from and their continent or region, right? So yeah, they're located all over the continent of Australia, that island of Australia. I believe they're only on the large part of Australia, the main part. And yes, they do vary in coloration and a little bit in appearance from place to place, just like many animals do as well, don't they? So yes, very good question. So Eddie is more wild looking than Zizi was. Zizi was more of like a golden orange, like kind of hypomelanistic, which is less coloration. He's a little bit more of the normal coloration, although I've been told that in the wild they're a little bit darker than that for Centralian bearded dragons, which are centralized to Australia. Bye, Eddie. He'll be back another time, I'm sure. And Samantha says, yay, good job, buddy. He did pretty good. Bye for now, Eddie, indeed. And Mom's tagging some more of her friends, and so is Ricky, or Ricardo in this case. All right, you guys. Fantastic and wonderful. Let's go ahead and meet another animal. So we talked about lizards and bearded dragons. Man, I could talk about them all day. There's so much to talk about because they are in the care of humans so often. A lot of people do have them in their homes. They're in a lot of animal programs like ours, and they're in a lot of zoos. So a lot of people know what they are, which is fantastic. And they're my favorite animal category, which is reptiles. But let's meet another animal, very different than a reptile. So we've met a scaly creature. Let's meet a hairy creature. How about that? But it's probably not what you think it is. Hope you don't have arachnophobia because we're going to be meeting a tarantula next. Let's make sure that she's in focus for you guys. There we go. This is Tiptoes. She is a pink toe tarantula. She is an Antilles pink toe tarantula. So they are in, well, part of their scientific name is versicolor, which means different colored, right? Right now she's in molt or in shed. And she's going to molt any day now, I think. And that is just coming from personal experience and seeing these guys molt a lot in my lifetime. She is very, very dull She is very dull in coloration right now is what I meant to say. And believe it or not, this is not as pretty as she normally is. She is very pretty right now, though, regardless of being in molt or shed. She's got a pretty back there, which is almost like a greenish, bluish, turquoise type coloration. And most of the rest of her body is burgundy. When these guys are first hatched out of the egg sac that they come out of after mom lays their eggs into an egg sac and they come out, these guys are pretty much all blue with little stripes on them. Isn't that cool? And then they change color totally as they come into maturity. And like I said, when she molts, her colors are just going to be a lot more bright and beautiful. And she's just going to be gorgeous. And these guys do vary from spider to spider as well. And typically the male, she's a female, we think, and typically the males are a little bit brighter colored than the females, but males do not live as long as females. So I'm happy to, we're pretty sure that she's a female because she's growing a lot slower than a male would grow and whatnot. So a male would grow a lot quicker and have a shorter life expectancy. So we don't want that. So this species of tarantula already doesn't live that long in comparison to other tarantulas, say maybe like a rose hair tarantula or red knee or Arizona blonde, like our blondie here at Once in a Wild. All of those kind of terrestrial tarantulas on the ground, those guys live a long time. Females can live into their 20s or 30s. This species lives a lot shorter of a life expectancy, usually around 12 to 15 is going to be a female's life expectancy, which is still a long time, right? But a male will only live to be 2 to 5 years old, depending on the male and the individual we're talking about. Isn't this a gorgeous spider? She's my favorite of all of our tarantulas. We do have 2 tarantulas that often make an appearance here at Once in a Wild on our live streams. One is going to be Blondie, the Arizona blonde, and Tiptoes, the pink toe tarantula. Antilles pink toe tarantula is what she is. Both of those are very handleable, so they're easy to present. We do have other tarantulas as well, which are beautiful for display, but they're not wise to hold because they are quite toxic. Now, that being said, no tarantula is actually deadly to a human being. So you wouldn't die from a bite from, say, like a Venezuelan sun tiger, but you may be in a lot of pain, just like if you were to get stung by a hornet or something like that. But no tarantula is deadly to humans that we know of. And so all tarantulas should be left alone. Tarantulas are actually a lot more beneficial than they are harmful to humans because they do away with a lot of pest animals, right? Just like the bearded dragon eats bugs and other things, the tarantulas and other spiders also eat bugs and other pests like roaches and mosquitoes and flies that can make us sick. So all those animals need to be kept under control, right, Andres? Under control. And if we have too many of them, we might get sick from diseases or even have parasites from some of those animals, right? Or because of some of those animals, they might be parasites. So it's really important to have predators, even little predators. She's not that big, guys. People say, oh my gosh, she's huge. She's not that big. I'm just holding, it's an optical illusion, right? It's an optical illusion. Beautiful. But we need predators like this that eat a lot of insects to help us out. Now, that being said, this isn't an animal from the United States, so she would help out the populations in Central and South America. That's where this species is actually located in the wild. But if you see a tarantula and you live here in the United States, please don't worry. Those tarantulas are totally harmless to humans. You can leave them alone. Sometimes during the breeding season and during different times of the year, you'll see some of the male tarantulas actually wandering around. They're actually not trying to get you. They're not trying to harm anything. They're either trying to find a mate, depending on the season, or they're trying to just find a new burrow, or they're trying to find resources. So most of the time, the tarantulas that live here in Texas, for example, or throughout most of the United States, they're going to be a burrowing terrestrial or subterrestrial tarantula. They're going to be underground most of the time, but they'll come out on occasion to seek out a mate, to seek out resources, etc. So they're not coming out to scare you, even though some of you might be afraid of spiders. So please do not worry. They're not out to get you, and they definitely cannot kill you. They are not deadly to humans. In fact, the Texas brown tarantula is one of the least dangerous tarantulas on the face of the planet. They're very, very mild when it comes to their venom. All right, what do you guys have to say about our tarantula so far? Let me see here. You guys are commenting so much, and I love it. I'm so glad we changed our show time to a later time so you guys can join in. And I am very, very happy to answer your question. No problem at all. Yeah, Viviana says, I've seen a couple of tarantulas here in my RV park where I live, along with the cottontail rabbits and prairie dogs, all kinds of wildlife out there. Pretty cool. Yeah, those tarantulas are probably Texas brown tarantulas. Sometimes they'll be wandering about, but usually they're just trying to find a place to live or trying to find a mate. And remember that the males actually don't live very long. So usually the males will go out and seek a female's den to mate before they pass away. That's kind of like their last effort to procreate. Pretty amazing. Are you responding to our tarantula? Is this your emoji face? Don't worry, it's only on a virtual program. This is a great way to actually learn about some animals you may or may not be nervous about. I've had a lot of people learn about snakes and spiders and scorpions, roaches, all kinds of things. Some people are scared of tortoises. I had a little girl one time who was a little bit afraid of our tortoise, Shelton John. I don't know why she was, but for some reason, she just thought they were scary. And she got to learn about them in person. But this is a great way to learn about animals you might be nervous about, right? Because it's on your TV and it's not in real life, even though she looks amazing right now. Can you see her kind of like faded pattern on her abdomen there? This is the abdomen. They have two main body parts. Hello. She's so cute. They have two main body parts, which are the cephalothorax and the abdomen. So the abdomen is that burgundy part, right? Can you see the striping when I shine her in the light there? So that striping is going to be present when they're babies, but they're actually blue with kind of a dark striping. You should look it up. Look up Antilles Pink Toe Tarantula from South America as their babies. They're totally different looking. It's pretty amazing. And as they molt, they're going to change their colors. Andres says, gorgeous. I know you love spiders. And quails as well. You guys have wildlife all over the place. When I lived in a trailer in Corpus Christi, where I lived near my friend Jose, who's on here. Hi, Jose. We had a lot of wildlife in the area that I lived, which was Aransas Pass. Aransas Pass has an estuary right near where I live. I can't talk today, you guys. Ooh, getting so excited. There was so much wildlife, lots of birds. I love birds. We saw cottontail rabbits as well, all kinds of things. You know what? That is something that we specialize in here once in a while. You were saying, I've always wanted to hold a spider, but they're always so scary. It really kind of just depends. This spider is very, very active, but we have an amazing spider named Blondie, who is an Arizona blonde who almost never moves when we put her in somebody's hands. So maybe someday we can meet in person and you can get over your fears. That is something that we actually specialize in here at Once in a Wild with bugs and with snakes as well. Snakes and bugs end up being one of the biggest, most common fears that people have because maybe they just don't have any experience with them. But that's what we're all about here at Once in a While, is giving you positive experiences with animals you may or may not be comfortable with. And it's okay if you're never comfortable with those animals. We just ask that you don't hurt these animals, right? There's only a few spiders out there in nature, especially in the United States, that are dangerous to humans. There's a few more in like Australia and things like that. I can't speak for Australia. There are several that are actually pretty dangerous. But most Australian people know what to look for, right? That's the same thing we should be doing here in the United States and otherwise, is be looking for the animals that are looking out for them, I should say, that are actually dangerous. But we don't want to indiscriminately kill all the other animals that look similar just because we're scared of them, right? Because guess what? Spiders, snakes, and all kinds of things, they provide help to humans by getting rid of pests. So we need to leave them alone, right? To the best of our ability. Black widows, brown widows, and brown recluse are about the only three that I can think of here in the United States that can really harm you. And even then, if they're outside, they're not going to come after you and attack you or anything like that. That's kind of a myth. And almost nobody has actually passed away from all three of those species in many, many years. There are medical treatments that you can receive if you do get bitten by any of those animals, and you'll be okay. So not to say that if you have brown recluse, black widows, or brown widows in your house that you should just leave them alone. I would definitely call a professional to handle that for you. You don't want to take care of it yourself, because you want to handle that in the most appropriate way, etc. And you don't want to hurt other animals, right? But anyway, long story short, I do recommend leaving that to professionals. But most spiders out there and most animals in general, snakes, etc., want nothing to do with us, and they don't want to harm us. Even the quote unquote dangerous ones, like venomous snakes, for example, they just want to leave us alone. And they cause a lot more, or they give us a lot more benefits than they do harm. Very cool. So maybe we could help you get over your fear someday. Hello, Jose. I already said hello to you, but I'm saying hello again. Hello. So good to see you. Let's see what else we have going on. I'm looking at everybody's comments really fast. Thank you so much for joining us. For those of you that are just joining us, my name is Amanda. This is Once in a Wild. This is our regularly scheduled program, our Wednesday live stream, but we have moved our time, as you can see, to 6:30 p.m. Central Time, and we're still going. And Amanda says she loves Blondie. Yes, I know you love our spiders. Your fear is sharks. I don't blame you for being apprehensive around sharks. It's definitely a dangerous animal potentially, but of course sharks don't really go after people that much. In fact, it's really, really rare to ever be harmed by a shark. Maybe Jose can tell us a little bit about his shark experience sometime, because he is he was an aquarist and has a lot more experience around sharks than I do. So that would be really fun to learn about sometime for all you aquarists out there. I'm definitely not an aquarist. I don't have any experience working with sharks, except for when I worked at SeaWorld, and I actually helped with guided tours behind the scenes with some of our bamboo sharks, which is like kind of a miniature shark. And we allowed people to be able to touch some of those sharks and stingrays as well. That was a lot of fun. But I do love stingrays. They're one of my favorite animals. I think I've answered everybody's questions and comments so far. You guys are doing wonderful. This, again, is a South American and Central American species, so you'll never see them out there in the United States, but there are tarantulas all over the planet, aren't there? This is definitely an arboreal species, which is a tree-climbing tarantula. You can see she has no problem climbing up my tattooed arm here. And some tarantulas are terrestrial, meaning that they only crawl on the ground, and they can't climb. She's a very nimble climber. They can also jump a little bit as well, and they can catch prey almost in midair. These guys have hairs all over their body, which they use for basically feeling the air movement and their web movement. These guys do make webs, just like all spiders can. I believe all spiders can make webs. All you entomologists out there, correct me if I'm wrong. They do have spinnerets in the back. I think maybe wolf spiders cannot make webs, so maybe I'm wrong. So most spiders can make webs. They do have spinnerets, which are those two little finger-like projections behind her abdomen. So spiders actually have two main body parts, which are the cephalothorax, which is the kind of bluish colored section of her body, and the abdomen, which is the burgundy part of her body. So cephalothorax and abdomen. They also have 8 legs and 2 arm-like appendages, which are called pedipalps, and 2 spinnerets. That is what tarantulas have. And tarantulas can make webbing, kind of like other spiders, but kind of not. It's more like a cobweb or a Halloween web looking style. And this species of tarantula, since they are arboreal, they actually make little web hammocks to lay in and hang out in. And they can also feel vibrations on their webs, just like other spiders can. But they can also feel movement in the air. So they can hunt things like flying insects as well. Pretty amazing, since they're covered in hair like that. Some tarantulas as well. I believe this one can too. I've never seen her do that. I think I spooked her. I've never seen her do this, but some tarantulas, and I think this species can if they really, really get spooked, is they can use their hair for defense as well. Not only on their body as kind of a shield on their body and a defense mechanism, but if they actually feel threatened, they can rub hairs off of their abdomen, which remember is that burgundy part on her backside there. She can actually rub her back legs against her abdomen and fling hairs into the air, and that will potentially irritate the eyes of a predator, like a bird or something like that that's trying to eat her. That's going to help her stay defended from predators. Pretty neat. But their main sense, out of all their senses, is going to be their sense of touch. They don't have very good eyesight. They don't have much of anything else. They don't even have a brain, you guys. So tarantulas actually have what we call ganglia instead of a brain. So they're very, very different when it comes to their organs on the inside of their body and whatnot. And again, I'm not an entomologist. Sorry, baby girl. But she's being very sensitive to my breath right now. So their sense of touch is very sensitive. Very, very sensitive. It's kind of like how they see and feel and sense the world around them is almost solely by touch. They can see a little bit. They can see shadows, lights, movement, things like that. And their eyes are located on the top of their cephalothorax, or head and body combo. And it can kind of they have 8 eyes, and they're kind of located on top of the head, kind of like a siren of a police car is what it reminds me of. It's like on the top of the head like this, and they can kind of get a good directional feel of what's around them by sight, but it's really only based on movement, shadows, light, things like that. Not very good vision. Definitely no color vision, and can't see very well at all. Okay, gorgeous girl. Who else is chiming in? Hello, everyone. I'm going to go ahead and let Tiptoes rest down below, and we'll show you guys a couple of videos of her feeding. And I forgot to show you a bearded dragon feeding video as well, so we'll do that first. And we'll address you guys' comments and questions, and let Tiptoes rest down below, and then watch a feeding video of her actually eating as well. That's hard to do on live stream because it happens so fast. So the video that I'm going to show you is actually in slow motion. Pretty cool. So the way that a tarantula eats, well, this tarantula specifically actually eats fast-moving bugs, but in general, a tarantula is going to kind of sit and wait for their food, and they use mostly their sense of touch to sense bugs. And if a bug goes by or flies by, etc., they're going to reach out and grab it really fast, usually with their pedipalps, which are their 2 little arm-like projections in the front. Remember, she's got 8 large legs and 2 smaller arms. And then they have chelicerae, which are their venom glands in the front, which can move and mobilize their fangs. Their fangs are 2 fangs kept under their chin when they're not using them. When they grab their food with their arms, both arms like that, then they're going to pierce the prey with their fangs, envenomate the prey, liquefy the prey, and then drink the prey with their little sucker mouth that they have underneath their body. That is how a tarantula eats. Tarantulas cannot chew their food. They just have fangs, which are not really teeth. They're just like hollow fangs. Since they're not mammals or reptiles or anything like that, they don't have any bones or teeth. They're invertebrates. No backbone, no bones. So they don't have teeth. They just have hollow fangs for envenomating their food. And that is what their venom is for. Their venom isn't to hurt a human. It's to get their food ready to drink it. They eat bug smoothies is what they do. Let me let her rest down below, and then we'll watch that. How would you like that? Did you ever think you'd be able to see that on a live stream? Okay, I'm going to put her down. She's done fantastic, and she is absolutely gorgeous. I think she is just a doll. Okay, I'm going to let her rest down below. I'm going to take a very, very brief break to check my camera really fast. And you guys are so patient and wonderful. I'll be right back, you guys. Okay, thank you so much for waiting. Let's see what you guys have to say about that. Let me see here. You guys are awesome. Let me see. Oh, here we go. Viviana says, I tried to touch a baby lemon shark at the Texas State Aquarium a couple of years ago, but I still fear them. I love the Texas State Aquarium. I used to work over there in their bird and mammal department. I worked in the bird show over there for about a year, a little less than a year. And I do know what you're talking about with the shark touch area. That's a great way to get over your fear. So I'm proud of you for trying at least. Maybe next time when the aquarium's back open again. I heard it's opening actually pretty soon. I'd love to go back and visit. Those are some cute emoji faces for the spider. Are you just excited? That's my impersonation of this emoji. Is that right? What does she eat? So Tiptoes actually mostly eats crickets just because she's smaller, but she's not picky at all. Anything I give her that's small enough to eat, like maybe like a small super worm or a large mealworm, or a small dubia roach, she is not a picky eater. She'll eat any of those bugs. And in nature, they eat anything small like that that's going to be a bug, pretty much. But she's mostly a cricket eater. Jamie says, I'm working on trying to hold a little spider. Not there yet, but I'm trying. For me, the smaller spiders are actually a little bit more nerve-wracking. I'm not afraid of any of them, but I would think that the smaller ones are actually a little bit more nerve-wracking than the larger, more docile, chill tarantulas, but whatever works for you. Ricardo is saying, help us by sharing this video. That's one other free way you can help us out here on Facebook and YouTube is by sharing our videos. And thank you for sharing, just like that. See, it works. Yes. Imagine if they did have a brain. That's right. They don't have a brain. They have a network of ganglia, which is a totally different internal organ than we have. And they do not have a brain. But imagine if they did. They might take over the world with all those legs and arms. Wouldn't they? Now, just because they don't have a brain doesn't make them dumb. A lot of people do ask me that, like, oh, they don't have a brain, they must be stupid. They're just different. So a lot of animals are totally different than us, right? So if you think about like a squid, for example, we know that squids and other cephalopods are very, very intelligent, but they're made totally different than us. Their brains are actually distributed throughout their body and their arms and things, and they're just totally alien to us anyway, but we're probably alien to them, right? That doesn't make them dumb. They can still, you know, learn and adapt to new situations and have reactions and personalities and things like that, right? So something that we're learning all the time is just because an animal is different than us doesn't make them stupid, right? Yeah. Venomate. Yes. Envenomate is actually the proper word, but venomate is fine to use for your band name. Yes, I agree. I love dubia roaches too. They're very easy to keep. I'm not a cricket fan. I tend to get like all the crickets that I need and feed them out in a few days, maybe like 3 days tops, because crickets are very hard to keep alive, and they're also stinky as well, and they jump out all over the place. So I much prefer dubia roaches and superworms and things like that. You are right. Yeah, envenomate is the proper word, Ricardo. Okay. What else was I going to show you guys? Oh, the videos, right? Yes. So I do have a video of Zizi, our bearded dragon, who sadly passed away this year, actually eating some of his food. Would you like to see that? So we just learned about our new bearded dragon, Eddie. But this is actually Zizi eating some food. And bearded dragons are omnivores. This is young Zizi when he was just a little baby. And he's eating some dubia roaches, I believe, in this video. And he also had some salad. I think there's some superworms in there too. And dubia roaches. I see a dubia roach on its back crawling around like this, hoping that Zizi won't eat him. But he's going to. There he goes. Yum, delicious bugs. I love how most animals chew, but lizards especially are kind of like very impolite chewers. They chew with their mouth like fully open. I was just talking about that with Samantha, I think. And they can't really function any other way. They don't really have the muscles or the capacity to like chew their food like us. So please don't chew like that if you're a human being. It's not nearly as cute as it is with animals, so please don't do that. Kiddos. We don't want to see your seafood. But here's Zizi eating a salad, and he's also eating some dubias. We sure do miss Zizi. Alrighty, let's go ahead and move on to the next video. So I wanted to show you some spider feeding videos since we just met Tiptoes. This is Tiptoes again. And we'll show you how she eats. Oh, you know what? I jumped the gun. This is the one where she already has her food. Forgive me, forgive me. Abort, abort. Let's try a different one. I mix these videos up all the time. All right. They look so similar. It's the same exact day and the same exact feeding. So this is her in her enclosure. I'm kind of looking down at her jar. She lives in a great big jar, which they're arboreal. They like to climb, you know, they're like a vertical setup is what I'm trying to say. So we're going to play you this video of a slow motion version of her getting a cricket that I'm offering her. I believe it's a cricket. Could be a small dubia roach. Let's find out together. Bam. So I've slowed it down so you can see. Oh, it's a dubia roach. See? She eats all kinds of things. Cool. So she's going to grab it with her arms and a couple of her legs as well because she's very excited about her food. She loves to eat. And she has pierced her food with her fangs and envenomated her food. And now she's going to turn her food into a beautiful bug smoothie. Delish. But that was slowed down a lot. Normally it happens like that. Like that. Pretty cool. Spiders are amazing animals. one more time, just real quick so you can see that strike. See her pink toes as well. There's the bug. And slow-mo. Bam. It happens so fast. And you see the fangs? It's amazing. The fangs are black. And again, they keep them tucked up underneath their body when they're not using them. Awesome. Okay, let's get rid of this. And we'll show you the other video that I showed you too fast earlier. Sorry about that. It's not a surprise anymore. Oh boy. Okay, here we go. She's already got the dubia roach in her clutches, and she's just hanging on to it with her fangs. Just kind of like keeping them there. Keeping the fangs in the food until it's ready for her to eat it. And one fun thing about tarantulas is they tend to make a little circle when they have caught their food. We don't know why. There are a few theories as to why they kind of walk in a circle like that. Sometimes they'll make webbing as they're walking around. So that might be to keep the food away from other tarantulas and spiders and things and other animals that want to steal her food. It's like, hey, don't take my food, like a dog would or something like that, like food guarding. It might be to make webs so that maybe they have somewhere comfortable to sit. We don't really know why. There's many theories out there as to why they do that. Pretty cool, huh? That's her just having some food. Adorable, I think. I think she's adorable and gorgeous. Tarantulas are amazing and very misunderstood and should be left alone, right? Okay, so let's move on to our last animal. We have 3 animal ambassadors to meet today. We had Eddie the Bearded Dragon, a new animal ambassador to us. We had Tiptoes, the Pink Toe Tarantula, who's one of my favorites and really cool animal too, right? And let's go ahead and meet our 3rd animal. But for this, I'm actually going to change my camera angle. We're going to be down on the ground for the next animal. This is going to be our largest animal ambassador that we do have here at Once in a Wild, and it's a mammal. So I thought I would bring an invertebrate, a reptile, and a mammal today for you guys to meet. So please bear with me for just a moment. I'm going to change our camera angle because this animal prefers not to be held, prefers to be on the floor. I say the ground, but we're really on the floor here, right? And it is a mammal, and it's our largest animal ambassador. So let's go ahead and take a short break. I promise I'll be right back. And we'll meet him in just a moment. I shall return. Okay, you guys, we are down on the floor. I'm going to change a couple of things here and there as well. You guys can get more of a view on the ground. Here I am, hanging out on the ground. A little weird, I know, but you'll see why in just a moment. If you guys have seen our program before, you probably can guess what animal's coming out next. And it is our largest animal ambassador. Sorry for my awkward sitting on the ground, but this is the best way to present him on a virtual encounter. Normally in shows in person, he's going to be on the floor and everybody can see him. And he comes out and he's really, really awesome. He's actually our largest animal ambassador that we have here at Once in a Wild. And he weighs, oh boy, cutting my head off. And he weighs about 21 or 22 pounds now. He is about 1.5 years old. And his favorite food are actually bananas. Can you guess what animal it might be? I know that a lot of animals like bananas. That may not help you, but he is quite large. But this type of animal isn't always this large. What could it be? It's a great big mammal. I'm trying to make sure you guys can see everything. I thought I planned this out well, but I guess I didn't. I'm gonna have to crouch down like this. That's okay. Hopefully you guys can see him. Amanda says she guards her sandwiches in a circular motion as well. I don't blame you whatsoever. Oh my gosh, let's go ahead and make sure our logo is on the screen as well. That would be a disaster. Okay, you guys, let's go ahead and meet him. Oh, I think you know who it is. Samantha knows who he is, of course. His name is Sandor, but that doesn't help anybody to know who doesn't know what animal that is. So pardon me as I go get him. He's actually right over there underneath the curtain. Let me go retrieve him really fast. There he is. Come on, buddy. You might just see my legs for a hot second. Here are my legs. And here he is. I'm going to do my very best so you guys can see him well. Over here. Maybe if I turn around this way. Oh my gosh, all the awkwardness. Where's Sandor? You sit up? Good boy. Here he is. You can see him a little bit better, right? So he does like bananas. And he even eats the peel of the banana as well. Sit up. He's like, give me the whole banana, please. Good boy. There's his cute little head. He's a lot bigger than he seems on the screen. He is around 22 pounds. Like I said, he's a Flemish Giant Rabbit. Hopefully you guys can see him okay. Let me angle this down a little bit more, and I'll just make do by crouching down like this. How's that? This is Sandor. He is a fawn-colored rabbit, and he is a Flemish Giant breed. This is the second largest breed of rabbit in the world. The first largest breed of rabbit is actually the continental giant. They're both giants, of course, and they are quite large, and they're only found in the care of humans. This type of rabbit is actually derived from the European rabbit, and rabbits have only been domesticated for a couple thousand years, which sounds like a long time, but in comparison to like dogs and cats and other animals, even like ferrets have been domesticated longer than rabbits. But rabbits were originally domesticated for food purposes. You want to come in my lap? Might be a little better. You can see how big he is. Rabbits were originally domesticated for food purposes. Oh, and guinea pigs have been domesticated for like a long time, thousands of years, around like 5,000 or 6,000 years in South America. These guys are from Europe. They come from the European rabbit, although there are many breeds, but there are many species of rabbit throughout the planet, right? Rabbits are found on every continent except for one, and that's Antarctica. But not many animals are found in Antarctica, are they? He's left with his treats, but you guys can still see him, which I'm grateful for. Maybe we'll just give him some more treats there. Oh no, he left. Scared him off. The Sandor does what he wants. He is too big to really hold comfortably, and he doesn't enjoy being held. I'm going to give him some treats right here so you guys can hopefully see him when he turns back around. These guys are wonderful animals. Rabbits are actually excellent pets if they are domesticated as well. But they are not low-maintenance pets. They're pretty high maintenance, but they're not that hard by comparison to other animals like dogs and cats. I think they're pretty easy. They just have special needs, just like the bearded dragon does, right? That's going to be what you mainly have to, you have to make sure and meet their needs, and they do just fine. So Sandor is about 1.5 years old, like I said. He's going to groom his little face already. He's already feeling messy from all the banana. By the way, he doesn't get banana on a daily basis. He's going to get things like greens, like he's eating right now, on a daily basis. And he also gets hay. About 80 to 90% of his diet is Timothy hay. And then other than that, he's going to get a little bit of pellets and a little bit of greens and vegetables. But he does get treat items on occasion, like bananas. And rabbits actually shouldn't have bananas or fruits very often. So he only gets them for training. And also carrots. Carrots are really high in sugar, just like fruit is. And so they should not get carrots every day. That should be only a treat on occasion. Now, European rabbits, which are the species that they come from in Europe, are very social. They live in warrens underground, which are like complicated tunnels and underground dens and things that they have made for themselves. There's more food over there. I'm not going to reward him from going into the food pouch. That is very rude. No, sir. No, sir. I know you want more banana, but that's not how you get it. We want to reward the behaviors that we want, right? Not for him coming over here to be rude and grabbing the food out of my pouch. He is smart, as you can probably figure out. But he knows there's more bananas, but he needs to earn them first. So since he's gone back over here, I'm going to give him some more banana. Since he's earned it now by coming over here, and some more lettuce. What's funny is he really likes the greens too, but if there's banana, of course he's going to favor that banana over the greens. So that's just how animals are. Humans are like that too, aren't they? So when we have a salad full of meat and croutons, we're probably going to eat the meat and croutons first before the salad. But he's a vegetarian, so he's not going to get meat or croutons. So what was I saying? Oh, the species that he comes from, the European rabbit, those guys are very social. They live in warrens or dens underground, and they're very different than the domesticated version of the rabbit. Domesticated rabbits are usually, when kept indoors and when kept very well, they can live anywhere from 8 to almost 14 years. Average is around 10 to 12 years. This breed is very large, so he won't live as long as a smaller breed of rabbit since he's so big. Just like a larger dog doesn't live as long as the smaller dog does. So his average life expectancy is usually around 7 or 8, maybe 9, which we hope he does live that long. We love him so much, but that is just the way it is. But out there in nature, the European rabbit, the wild animal version of him, those guys aren't really going to live past usually 2 to 4. And that is because they have a lot to worry about in the wild. As you may know, a rabbit is a prey animal. That means that he is food for other animals, not just, like we said, being raised for food as they were originally bred and domesticated for that purpose, but rabbits in general all over the planet, lagomorphs, which are rabbits, hares, and pikas, all those animals are straight food for other animals. So anything that you can think of that eats other animals, like maybe a wolf, a fox, a bird of prey, anything at all that's a carnivore that can eat a rabbit, can eat them, is what I'm trying to say. Or something that eats rats and things, that usually can eat a rabbit too. Because remember, there's rabbits of all different sizes. They're not all as huge as him. He doesn't look as big on camera, oddly enough, but he is quite large. He is a very, very large rabbit. And they are straight food for other animals. That is what they do in life. They are prey. They are providers of food to other animals. Now, something that I was researching not too long ago that I didn't know was that the European rabbit is actually considered to be endangered in their native habitat in Europe. Did you know that? They didn't used to be endangered, and they're actually invasive in some other areas of the world where they don't belong. Invasive just means that they're in places they don't belong and they're causing problems. But in Europe, they're considered to be an endangered species now because of habitat loss primarily, and because of disease and other reasons. So that was something that I was very, very sad to find out, is that his cousins in the wild are actually endangered now. That's not good. We want to make sure and save them, right? So it's always good to, one thing you can do to help prey animals in their natural habitat is bring your cats inside. If you guys have cats outdoors, please think about bringing them indoors to not live outside, because cats outside can actually hunt animals such as rabbits and birds and lizards and snakes. Cats don't do a ton of rodent hunting, not nearly enough to make up for the fact that they're hunting other animals and killing other animals a lot more so than they are rodents. Yeah, it doesn't happen as much as you think it does. So it's very, very good to keep your cats indoors. It's actually better for the cat too. The cat's going to live a lot longer. Indoor cats live vastly, vastly longer than outdoor cats do. Here you go, buddy. Here's some more banana, your favorite, since you're being so good. So we do recommend highly that you keep your cats indoors, because cats are also an invasive species to many countries and continents throughout the world, including Europe and including Australia, and including all over the world. Feral cats are literally everywhere, wreaking havoc on wildlife all over the place. So that's one way that you can actually help populations of natural animals in natural places to stay healthy, is by taking away that invasive predator. That makes sense. I hope that makes sense to you guys. Let's see what you guys have to say. Yes, a Flemish rabbit, absolutely. Flemish rabbits are fantastic animals. They are very sweet, very docile, very friendly animals. He is not shy. I don't think he ever met a stranger. He is a little bit distracted in this room because he just wants to run around and play in here, and I can't blame him. So I try to make sure that he's preoccupied with some snacks, right? But he is fantastic. He's wonderful. This is your favorite mammal? I didn't know that. Maybe I did know that, I just forgot. They are wonderful animals. Rabbits are really, really, I think, kind of taken for granted because we all know what a rabbit is. And I think we all just kind of go, oh, well, that's a rabbit. But I think that's really neat because we can connect with those animals that we recognize, right? So it's really cool to hear that he's your favorite. Look at that. Bunny booty. Indeed. Did you know that one theory as to why we call them bunnies is because their tail looks like a bun, like a hair bun? So bunny, bun. Isn't that cool? Do you guys know why rabbits and other animals that are prey have the inside of their ears white and their bellies is white? It's called counter shading. They're dark on the top and white on the belly, and they even have a white bun tail. That is because they actually warn other rabbits and other wildlife of danger nearby. So if they are able to hear danger, by the way, they can hear 2 miles away from them, in any direction, because they can move their ears in any direction. They can see really well as well. In fact, they can see, I don't know how far, but they can see all the way around their body except for 2 tiny blind spots in the front and the back. is where they can't see. They just have a couple of blind spots. But most of the time they can see all the way around their body, almost 360 degrees, because of their big, beautiful doe eyes. So if they spot, hear, or even smell danger, they're going to start running. Their main defense is to get away. They're going to get away from danger. They're going to hide as well. They might just hide, but usually they're going to run off and hop away, try to get back into their tunnel. If they're a American cottontail, they don't really have tunnel systems, but they might have some grass to hide in. He's got a pepper there to eat as well. They might have some grass to get into a thicket and hide. But they're going to run. They're going to run really, really fast. These guys can run as a wild animal, not Sandor, because he's not a wild animal. But the wild rabbits out there in Europe and otherwise, and even hares and jackrabbits, those guys can run up to 45 miles an hour to get away from their predators. Look at him grooming himself. He's so cute. Guys, rabbits are adorable. Are you going to eat your food? Eat your food for the people. They want to see that. Good job. He's so well trained, isn't he? Anyway, so these guys are going to run really quickly away from predators. They can run anywhere from 25 to 45 miles an hour, depending on the species of rabbit and depending on the individual. Not every individual rabbit is the best runner ever, right? So just like humans, some humans are much faster than other humans. I'm not a runner at all. So I'm more like Sandor. I'm not athletic, but he's going to be a big rabbit, very heavy. But those smaller wild rabbits, man, they can run up to 45 miles an hour away, and that tail is going to show off in a distance or in the field, and you're going to see that white, just like a white-tailed deer. Have you ever seen a white-tailed deer running away, or a gazelle or antelope? They're usually going to run with their tail up like this, and that's going to flag all the other animals to tell them, oh my gosh, there's danger, you better run away right now, come with me. Ah! It's going to be like all of that in one visual demonstration. Does that make sense? So they're going to see that white running away, and they're like, man, I better run away too. There might be a predator nearby, and I need to get away because maybe I'm also a prey animal, like a rat, a mouse, a bird, etc., that's running away with the rabbit. Or maybe it's other fellow rabbits. Not every rabbit is social as a species, but the European rabbit is very social. So they might show their fellow bunnies that they live with that there is a fox nearby, and I'm running away from the fox. You better get into our tunnel. You better run away into our warren. Let's all get away together. They don't really have a whole lot of vocalizations. They do have some, but they're not very vocal as a species, right? Rabbits do make a little bit of vocalizations, and they're really cool, but they're not like a bird that's going to go like letting all the other birds know that there's danger, right? With whatever vocalization, I don't know what kind of bird that was that I impersonated just now. But my point being is that birds are usually very vocal, so they will vocalize to let other birds know that there's danger nearby, and they might see the other birds flying away as well. Birds are also very visual. But my point is, rabbits aren't as vocal as that, but they're going to use that visual cue, that visual signal, that there's danger nearby and they should run away. Very smart, right? Pretty cool, right, Sandor? But that's why they have the white tail and the white underbelly and the white in their ears. I'm going to get out of his way. Coming through. You guys have any questions about our rabbit or anything? Let me see. Oh my goodness, you're so sweet and precious. You want to come over here? If he decides to come over here, he's going to be really cute, but if not, that's his choice. I'm going to give him free choice to do whatever he wants. I don't have any more food in my hands, though, sweetheart. He's going to lick my hands, though. Super cute. I think I have just a couple of pieces of lettuce left, but you've left, so whenever you decide to come back, I'll give it to you. Okay, let me see. I'm going to wash my hands a little bit because there's banana all over me. Here he comes again. Oh my goodness, he's so cute. He's gonna lick the ground over there where the banana was, I think. Okay, guys. Haha, look at that bunny booty indeed. Bunny rabbit. That's where that comes from. Come over here. Is he heavy? Good question. He weighs around 22 pounds now, which is about what they weigh as a breed. So anywhere from 20 to 22 pounds is what they usually weigh, especially males are a little bit heavier than females. He wants to get back into his crate, but I don't think I want him to yet because he's being so cute. I want you guys to enjoy him a little bit longer. He is very sweet. He just wants to explore this room because he doesn't get to be in here too often. He does have his own room to run around in. So cute. I'm glad you think so. I'm not sure about FFA rules at all. I know nothing about that stuff or any of that at all. So I would just ask them if you have somebody that you can get a hold of. But I think they're excellent pet rabbits. They're very docile and very sweet. They're just really large. So they're going to need like basically their own room to live in, or a great big giant exercise pen that is just like almost room size anyway. So you can actually litter box train them. It's really, really easy. You just put the litter on the bottom of a big litter tray. Put litter. I usually use like the wood stove pellets, or equine pine is fine, something like that. You just put that in like a few inches on the bottom, and then you put their hay on top, which is Timothy hay, which is what I use. And they're going to sit in there and graze and go to the bathroom while they're grazing. And that is the best way to litter train your rabbit. It's also easier to litter train them if they're spayed or neutered, but I think you're going to be in FFA. I don't think they can be spayed or neutered. Sandor is not neutered yet. We may neuter him if he's an issue at all, but he hasn't had any issues whatsoever with litter training or dominance or anything. I think this breed is just naturally sweet. So I think we lucked out as well with him. Hey, buddy. He is so cute. You're just going to come and see me? Hello? They're very, very friendly. So I don't know about FFA. I've never, ever been involved with any of that. So that would be something to ask an expert in that. Here's a good question. Can they eat other types of hay? I don't know what Tipton is. I'll be honest with you. Alfalfa, etc. They can eat those things in moderation as a treat. So he would really enjoy, I'm sure, some alfalfa if we offered it to him, like alfalfa cubes or small amounts of alfalfa, but it should not be their staple hay. It's too much nutrition. So you want to give them like a Timothy or an orchard grass hay is what we always recommend for rabbits, for just like their normal diet. Not to say you can't get treats of alfalfa and things like that, of course. That would be totally fine, but not as something he has every single day all the time. So they should have every single day all the time Timothy or orchard hay to graze on throughout the day, all the time offered. Rabbits should be grazing all day to be able to keep their digestive system from going into stasis. So stasis just means that it stops. You don't want that to happen with a rabbit or any other grazing type animal, right? Like a horse, they should be grazing all the time. They should always have hay. They should always have grass, whatever it may be. In the case of your horse or rabbit, rabbits should be kept inside, in my opinion. So hay is the easiest way to give them that. But Timothy or orchard hay, orchard grass hay, yes. And you can actually get it at Tractor Supply. If you have a Tractor Supply near you or a feed store near you, that's where I get it. I get a great big bale of it for like 20 bucks. It is fantastic. That is a good question, though. What is their life expectancy for the breed or for rabbits? So for rabbits in general, I'm going to move your beautiful gift so the rabbit doesn't destroy it over here. He's just hanging out and getting into everything as he usually does. Anyway, their life expectancy of this breed is usually 7 to 8 is what I was told. Hopefully he'll live a little bit longer than that. We're trying to make sure he's not overweight or anything like that. That's usually what actually affects this breed, is becoming overweight. They get overweight very easily because they are a large breed, just like large dogs. Like a Saint Bernard, for example, is prone to getting overweight. So that might be a problem with them as well. We're going to make sure that it doesn't happen. And one, I think he's on top of his crate, you guys. He's left us. Get back over here. Hey, he can easily jump on top of things like furniture, on top of his crate, which is pretty cool to see. In real life, I do have him hop onto things sometimes during programs. He's a ham. Anyway, but for this breed, it's around 7 to 8. For rabbits in general, it's anywhere from 10 to 12 and sometimes up to 14, I think, is the kind of like record of a rabbit. Here's a good question from Amanda. Hi, Amanda again. So many of us are taught that bunny/rabbits eat. By the way, bunny and rabbit are the same thing. Bunny is just kind of like saying puppy dog instead of dog, or kitty instead of cat. Same thing. They eat carrots as part of their regular diet for sharp eyesight. The concept has even been central for some folklore varieties. That's hard to say. Folklore varieties. So carrots may help your eyesight in humans. But carrots nowadays, as in carrots that are GMO'd, if you will, are actually full of sugar. So it's almost like eating like bananas all the time. Bananas aren't bad for like humans to eat every day, but that would be a ton of sugar for a smaller animal like a rabbit. So you definitely wouldn't want to feed him, or any rabbit, bananas every single day, carrots every single day, because there's too much sugar. And that's kind of more of a modern problem, because carrots didn't used to have this much sugar. Back in the old days, that's kind of something that we've done to our vegetables and fruits, right? To make them tasty. So that is a problem for rabbits now. Does that make sense? So carrots are definitely not something they would even eat in the wild. They might eat the tops of the carrots and the tops of root vegetables because they're going to be a grazing animal. They're eating mostly grass. I would say about 90% grass in the wild and other weeds and things that they find grazing on. And also they're going to be eating other vegetation. And that's it. They're not going to be digging up roots and vegetables and carrots to eat. That's really pretty rare. So that's just come from Bugs Bunny. Bugs Bunny is responsible, or the people that made Bugs Bunny are responsible for the myth that rabbits eat carrots. They really don't. But they can have them on occasion for treats. That's perfectly fine. Just like I was feeding him bananas for training and treats. That's fine. It's just minimal, right? Just like you can have a cookie, just don't eat the whole box of cookies. I mean, if you do, I'm not going to judge you. But it's probably not good for you. I'm sure a doctor would not recommend that, right? So not great. We want to keep him nice and lean. 20 or 22 pounds is about all we want him to be. We don't want him to be like 25 pounds and fat. Right. But I think he wouldn't mind being 25 pounds and fat. He says, give me more food. He's over here in my lap now, guys. Oh, no, he left. By the time I move my camera, he's already left again. He is a handful. So he's probably the not only the most spoiled of all our animals, I guess. He's not really spoiled. He's just wants what he wants, I guess. Diva. And Samantha says that he's a snuggler. He is very friendly. He is definitely not shy. He's all up in my business every time I go in to see him. In fact, I have to kind of like put him away when I'm trying to vacuum and things because he's right up in my business. So I have to deal with that. He is huge. Yes, he is. So hello. Nice to see you. Hotel Diplomats. I believe it's Christian. Hey, Christian. He's a boy. He is a male rabbit. So that is Sandor. You can call him Sandy if you want to. How fast can they run? As a species, the European rabbit, which is the rabbit that these guys come from the wild, those guys can run 35 to 45 miles an hour in bursts to get away from predators. But these guys, I would say probably 10 to 12 miles an hour is what a Flemish Giant can actually run, unless it's just like in quick, short bursts when he's really full of energy and happy, which he does. Spoil him. Okay, I will. Fine. I'll spoil him just because you said so. Well, I'm going to move my camera back up so I can address you guys normally. So let me do that really fast. One moment. You guys are so patient and wonderful as always. I shall be right back. That's more like it. I can sit back up on here like on a stool like a human being. So here I am. Let's get our branding back in there. Let's see real quick. Although we do have the scrolling banner down below, I do like our branding a little bit better. I think that's better. There we go. Looks gorgeous. Looks gorgeous. Sandor's going to explore the room while we're finishing up, but I do have a few really cute videos of him to show you guys, and that's a little bit easier to show than in person because he's just so distracted in here having a great time, and we're spoiling him, right? So let's do that. What? Bugs Bunny not real? Sorry, I guess he is in your dreams. Once in a while. Yes. Thank you for singing our song. Okay, let's share with you guys some videos. So first, we're just going to show you some training of our rabbit Sandor, who's running around the room at this time. So this is when we were teaching him some behaviors, and he is learning to come to me first on cue. This was about a year ago already. And he was learning to come to me and also to spin on command there, on cue, I should say. We don't really command our animals to do anything. We ask them. So when I ask him to spin with my finger signal there, hand signal, he spins, and he learned it really, really fast. Isn't that neat? Isn't he cute? Let's watch another one. Let's watch another one. I believe this is the same behavior, so I've already rewarded him there, and I'm asking him to spin again. Very nice. I'm going to check the camera here in a second. He lives in the same room as my birds do, and they are all friends. The birds get time out in the room every single day, and he's always out in the room unless I need to put him up for cleaning or something like that. I'm going to shut the sound off there because the birds are making noise in the video. He's learning his spin behavior. Isn't that adorable? Rabbits are pretty smart, aren't they? They're very motivated food. So it's pretty easy to train them to do things because they get food rewards for doing the right thing. Animal training, the basics of it is first developing a really positive relationship with your animal, and then you want to find out what your animal actually likes the best. So what reinforces them the most. With rabbits, it's really easy because it's usually food. So I can train him with his pellet diet that he gets. I can train him with bananas, of course, with greens, all kinds of things. He really likes food. Anything but his hay, because his hay he just gets all the time to graze on. Not that he doesn't like his hay, but you want it to be something that they really like and they really enjoy, especially for a new behavior like we were teaching him to spin just now. Pretty awesome. Thank you very much. Ricky also thinks I'm a Disney princess as well. He says Cinderella, but I don't know, Snow White and Cinderella both kind of have rabbits and birds, don't they? It's an old-fashioned Disney princess. Okay, a couple more videos and then we'll say goodbye. I hope you guys have enjoyed our program today. This is really cute. We don't have Sandor live outside. He actually lives indoors, which is the room you just saw in the video just now where he was being trained. We recommend that rabbits live indoors, especially if you have a hot climate like right here in Texas. South Texas is extremely hot. So we definitely do not recommend keeping rabbits outdoors in Texas. It is way too hot in Texas for rabbits. And also it keeps them a lot less stressed when you bring them inside and living with you. They have a very dense coat, like I said, so heat really affects them, etc. But on occasion, when it's nice outdoors, we can let him out for some enrichment. So he was actually outside at this point in this video for a little bit of fun enrichment time. Isn't that fun? He's just running amok and having a good time in this video. I think he's adorable. Yes, he is. And he can also sit out there and graze on some grass, which is a nice natural diet for him too. Amanda says the next step is to teach them how to braid my hair. That'd be funny. And Ricky says Amanda lives a Disney princess life for sure. Speaking of Disney princess, we actually did a collaboration with Moana not too long ago on our private group, and be looking out for more collaborations with some real life Disney princesses, virtual collaborations right now, hopefully in person as well. We can't wait to collaborate with a beautiful company called Once Upon a Party. So we're once in a while, they're Once Upon a Party. I think it's meant to be. So recently we did a collaboration with Moana, and feel free to check that out once it happens again. We're actually doing another collaboration with Moana on August 1st. And feel free to, I'm sure there's going to be more Disney princesses in the near future. Pretty exciting. I think it belongs together. Animals and princesses, perfect. Disney, great, love it. He is so cute. So you'll see how rabbits groom themselves. They don't need to be bathed unless there's like some kind of something gross on them. You don't ever have to bathe them. It's actually not good to bathe them because their fur is so dense that it can hold the water and actually cause issues like pneumonia. They can get too cold. Yep. Once Upon a Party. If you follow Once Upon a Party on Instagram and otherwise Facebook, etc., you can see some of our collaborations, I'm sure, soon. We will be posting that to our Facebook and YouTube. August 1st, 2020. Of course, 2020. I hope it wouldn't be next year. So exciting. Isn't he cute? So rabbits do groom themselves. They keep pretty clean. They do molt about once or twice a year. Right now, he's in deep molt. I know you probably can't tell because you don't know him normally. I guess you're not familiar with him as much as I am, but to me, he looks pretty rough today. So I was almost hesitant to bring him on program, but I'm sure you guys enjoyed it anyway. He is shedding like crazy, just like a husky dog sheds about once a year. Like molts, they shed all the time. Let's face it, rabbits and husky dogs shed all the time, but they molt and like get rid of that excess fur at least once a year. So he's going through that right now. So I'm having a lot of fun with that. Let me tell you what. That is an exaggeration. Sarcasm. Okay, one more video and then we'll say goodbye. I know you guys could hang out with me all night. And I really appreciate you guys joining in on our new time. I think it was a good choice, if I do say so myself. I think this is a much easier time for people to join in. Oh my goodness, I messed up. Technology, there we go. Now you can see it. Sorry about that. Let's watch it again. Forgive me. I'm doing it all by myself. Onceuponaparty.org. Yes, that is the Disney Princess website. So they do, they're right here in San Antonio as well. They actually do parties for anyone, but they're cosplayers essentially. They're real princesses, but just like at Disney World where you have Jasmine or Moana or Cinderella or whoever, that's what they do. And they come to your home. They're going to arrange all kinds of things, but nowadays they're going virtual just like we are. They're really cool. Alrighty, guys. Well, that's going to be it for now. And yes, of course, there's always exceptions. You know, if they have issues, like medical issues where they need baths. I used to work with a rabbit that couldn't bathe herself. I think it was a girl. Couldn't bathe herself, and she was very elderly, so we had to wash her. But in general, you don't really have to bathe a rabbit. They're kind of like a cat. Some cats need baths, so it just depends on your situation, doesn't it? But yes, so it's kind of, oh, English slops. Those are the ones that have the huge ears, right? Those are beautiful, big rabbits, too. Is that right? Is that the one with the huge, giant ears? I love them. They're really cool looking. You tell me. Well, I appreciate you guys tuning in today. Once again, our show is free of charge, but we do have many ways that you can donate to our zoo, and you can actually help feed Sandor, and you can help Tiptoes, and our newest animal ambassador, Eddie. There's many animal items that you can actually donate straight to us from our Amazon wish list, which is found at onceinawild.com. Scroll all the way down to the bottom and click donate to our Amazon wish list. You can find all those items and you can send them right to us, which is fantastic. There's also other donation options, which are via Venmo, via Cash App, and PayPal, which is at Once in a Wild as well, just like the other ones are. And we hope to see you for a Zoom room coming up very, very soon. We would love to see you for a custom animal Zoom of the choosing of your own animals to choose. I don't know what Sandor's doing over there, but I think he's getting into trouble, so I better end. So you guys have been fantastic. We hope to see you next week at this time, Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Central Time, right here in Texas. And we'll see y'all another time. Bye. We are nothing close to ordinary, but we love to be your friend. Hold our hands and let's have fun together, singing as loud as you can. Everybody singing once in a while. Together. Once in a while. I want to hear you say once in a while. Never fun for me and you. Alrighty, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.